Hello and welcome to Trading Hour on CNBC-TV18. I'm Ekta Batra and with me is Prashant Nair. Well, it's turning out to be a day of consolidation after many days of gains. So nothing to write home about in terms of any sort of significant moves coming in for the markets. We have the Nifty, which is absolutely flat, and we have the Midcap index, which is giving up a little bit of gain. So down around 0.4% currently for the Midcap index. Advanced decline ratio weak. A lot of stocks to talk about today. Aviation seems to be top of mind with the kind of decline that we've seen for SpiceJet and the gains that we're seeing probably for Interglobe. IOC, which is down around 3% and DLF, which is up and about on the back of upgrade which has come through. So you can a lot to discuss over the next 1 hour. Let's get going. Hi, Prashant.
Ekta, hi. Good morning. So finally, a bit of a pause, right?
Yeah.
Looks like it. Let's see if the pause gets pause is sustained or buying starts to seep in once again. But for now, it's absolutely flat. 11,300. What a rally we've had. So I think you can look back and feel all good about. I mean, there's nothing to not feel good about the move that we've had, especially in the broader markets. So today is just some give back, absolutely nothing else. I think the global developments will also start to show up in a bigger way. And this week it's about the Brexit developments, and we'll talk about this in some greater detail as we go along. Can that send a shockwave around the globe if it so happens that we get to know very clearly that Britain will exit the EU with no deal? I mean, that surely will send a shockwave. So far, that is still not the consensus expectation, but it sure is headed that way. We'll track what happens there. But that's the event this week, globally speaking, apart from what happens on prices themselves on S&P and other big indices. Let's bring in Sudarshan Sukhani of S2Analytics.com. He's joining in. Sudarshan, thanks very much. Morning. So you'd use this pause to create more longs, or just maybe lighten up a little bit?
Good morning. Since the morning, our theme has been to not just lighten up, but to close long positions in the Nifty and the Nifty Bank. And the reason is simple. After 2 days of that stupendous rally, the markets are likely to go choppy. World markets are in a risk-off mode today. Now, a choppy market is not a friend of the trader. The trader gets literally chopped out. You don't know whether this is a breakdown or this is only a dip or this is a rally or a sell-on rally. It becomes very confusing. So the best trade now is that there are significant profits accumulated over 2 days. Bank those profits and step aside. In a day or two, new trades will always come. The markets are there for us forever. That's the view. Exit your index positions. But this is by no stretch of imagination a short call. It's not. It's simply that we are in an uptrend. The markets can become choppy. So short-term traders should close their positions. Now, index trades, I have already told you, stocks are mainly for buying. Hexaware is a buy. That's a stock that has been building a base and is eventually slowly breaking out. So I would say go and buy Hexaware, buy Bajaj Finance. It has been an outperformer for the past many weeks, and that should continue. There is also a short sell, that is JSW Steel. After a 2 days minor rally, the steel stocks are now facing pressure and resistance. And as I told you, there is risk off world over today. So there is an intraday short trade in JSW Steel. Broadly, a day when do as little as possible.
Okay, well, Sudarshan, stocks? Okay, you already, spoke about your stocks, JSW Steel, Hexaware and Bajaj Finance. But you have a couple of we have a couple of Twitter queries. We have Rajshri who wants to know if it is a good time to buy Page Industries for a 2 to 3 year horizon.
I didn't get the name.
Page Industries, Page.
It's a very expensive stock. It's also gone through a very deep correction. Now, for a 2 to 3 year time horizon, almost anything good quality is worth buying into. But I would think that there are better options. But yes, if you want to buy Page, then for a 3 year time horizon, you can buy it.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks very much, Sudarshan. We speak again in a bit. Appreciate you joining in with those trading ideas at this point in time. I just want to highlight a couple of more names before we move on to the next topic. So, IndusInd Bank is up 2%. It's at 1600 plus, so looking strong, large volumes. DLF is continuing its move. DLF has got to 193, which is the last swing high. If it takes out 192, 193, I mean, then maybe it just opens up another move. It's rallied all the way from 140 about 5 weeks ago to 190 now today. Indigo is rebounding about 3 3/4%. There is Pidilite, which is up 2.5%. Container Corporation should come up on your screen. It's got about 2% plus. There is Amar Raja. And then you go down the list and volumes start to become thin once again. So that's basically what's moving with large volumes on the screen right now. But Indigo is up, as I pointed out. Let's put up SpiceJet as well. And Ekta, I mean, the big talking point has been aviation.
Yes, absolutely. We have aviation stocks which are under pressure this morning. This is after the DGCA has in fact decided to ground all the Boeing 737 MAX planes being operated by Spice as well as Jet Airways. Maximum of the impact is definitely on SpiceJet. The stock, however, is recovered. The aviation regulator has also banned Boeing 737 MAX operations from its airspace with effect from 4 p.m. this evening. To discuss more, we have Kapil Kaul from the Center for Asia Pacific Aviation, or CAPA, who joins in now. Kapil, hi. Thanks very much for taking the time out. Do you expect maybe a shortage of capacity based on what we have seen with SpiceJet on the MAX 737s, as well as with Jet and additional planes, in fact, being grounded because of dues?
Well, I think, first of all, good morning. The number of planes, MAX planes in India operating currently would be about 12 to 13. That's only with SpiceJet. Jet Airways has already grounded the MAX planes because of funding challenges. So the current fleet that we have, the MAX fleet, is insignificant to the total narrow-bodied fleet we have. So it's not going to make any significant difference on a standalone basis. But if you couple it with the fact that there is a lot of MAX inductions that SpiceJet was likely to get over a period of next 1 year, then you couple it with there is already a Jet significant capacity reduction by Jet, almost about 40-50 aircraft grounded. Then you take the pilot-related challenges which have led to grounding at Go Air and as well as Indigo. Then you combine this all together. Then you are heading for a peak period. So I would think that the fares would go up and it would be a very significant Q1, both from the consumer perspective, because there will be capacity shortage and the fares logically would be much higher than that normally is in Q1. So there is a concern. Now, this concern, if you take it on the international side, because SpiceJet operates some of these on the international operations as well, there will be 737 MAX, 89 coming into India from low-cost airlines globally. And then the Jet has an international operation which has got constrained, could get further constrained if the resolution plan doesn't get quickly structured. And my view is that even if the resolution plan gets structured, for them to bring these planes up in air very quickly is going to be very difficult. So it's almost a challenge even on international. So we have an issue for sure, yes.
Mm-hmm. The fares, Kapil, I mean, if you just check on any of these aggregators, are already up quite a bit for big routes like Delhi, Bombay, etc. Fares even for the coming week are pretty high. So it's already showing up in terms of sort of airfares, right? Or you're saying that...
The coming week is largely driven by the runway maintenance program at Bombay, which hopefully should get over soon. So because there is a runway maintenance and the airport is not available full-time to the airline, so the schedules have got constrained. And with the result, there's already a capacity challenge in Bombay. And with this runway maintenance, that has got further challenged. With the result, the spike in fares to some routes in Bombay and earlier in Bangalore are driven by that. But the Bombay season starts from 15th of April and Delhi by mid of May. So I think I don't see the capacity coming back soon. So there would be a challenge. And I'm more worried also on the international side because we have seen Jet Airways cancelling Singapore. And I'm not very sure what will be the profile of international cancellations if the deal doesn't get structured quickly. And then there would be an international, fares increasing in the international also in the peak period.
How much do you anticipate fares to rise based on your experience, on your assessment, probably during this peak period that is coming up?
I would think that normally the peak period fares are much higher than, say, Q1 fares are much higher than Q2 or Q4. Some parts of Q3 as well are higher. But you would be here looking at about 15-20%. I would say that on the conservative side, if the challenges persist. And that challenges particularly in D1 to D7 window would be pretty severe, because that's where India is a late booking market. Most of the 35-40% of the bookings come closer to date. There will be severe pressure. So if you're booking 2 days before the flight, or 3 days before flight, or 5 days before the flight, that would be pretty severe. But windows before that, because there is a pressure across the system, even windows before that would be high. So it's very difficult to conclude what will be the how much of quantum jump in fares we'll see, but we'll see surely a very significant fare increase, which the government should take note of, because I think we may be heading to a very tight corner given multiple challenges that are emerging at the same time.
Do you think that this would be an opportunity for InterGlobe now because of the kind of capacity constraint that the other airlines are facing?
Well, they have the supply. Go Air possibly has a delivery schedule. They have grounded some planes. I'm hearing that they will be bringing most of them back in end of March. Indigo has surprisingly decided to put most of their capacity in FY20, which is about 40-odd planes, 50% of them coming on international. So they could possibly relook at it, if particularly with respect to the MAX delay, because one doesn't know how long will it take to find a fix. If it is in the operating system, and we are hearing that it is primarily on the aircraft's, installation issues, and whatever else is being done to fix the challenge with respect to Boeing, because one is talking about developing enhanced flight control enhancement for MAX to boost safety. There are, lots of other updates with respect to pilot displays, operational manuals, crew training procedures, and about its maneuvering characteristics augmentation system, which is called MCAS, is also being enhanced. So one doesn't really know that how long will it take for the fix to be happening. So Indigo may take a call that if the SpiceJet Maxes get grounded and the further induction gets challenged, they may strategically look at placing more aircrafts in domestic. That we haven't seen yet, but that's possible.
Okay. All right, Kapil, we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. So that is Kapil Kaul of CAPA saying that, yes, there is a possibility that fares could rise, especially in the peak period, by around 15 to 20% if in case the current scenario of capacity shortage when it comes to airplanes as well as pilots continues. But as of now, for the Nifty, 11,306, with just about consolidating, Midcap index is giving up a little more in terms of gains.